preliminary arraignments and bail hearings. What do these look like for clients, and what are they in general?
When the defendant is brought before a judicial officer in Maryland, usually the officer of first appearance is going to be what we call court commissioner. And that is what we call a critical stage of the proceedings. Constitution requires that a lawyer be present, um, or that you have the right to have a lawyer present. The lawyer doesn't need to be present anywhere, but the defendant has a right to have the lawyer present at each critical stage. So the first step in the critical stage of the proceeding is the initial appearance. And that's where the judicial officer, usually a court commissioner, will determine whether or not that person should be um, released or held on bond or held without bond for the judge to review. The more serious cases, the more likelihood that a there's a flight risk, then the more likely there will not be a bond put on by the commissioner, which in some jurisdictions you would be sort of like a magistrate. It would be held for the full judge at the next sitting of court, which is usually the next day, or if it's a holiday, it would be the next sitting of court. But the minor cases and the ones that where the flight risk is low, then often the commissioner will put a bond or decide that a bond is not necessary, release the person on their own recognizance. And so, or what they call an unsecured bond, which means that if they don't show up, they have to pay a certain amount of money, but if they do, then they're not responsible for it. There's various types of what we call pretrial release. The commissioner would also impose conditions. If you violate those conditions, then you can be brought back in for violating your conditions of release.